short form videos, for the most part, is for people, like we're saying, they want to be, it's kind of part of our escape. So what is it that you can share that will capture people's attention and stop their scroll? Now, when we think about giving value, especially as entrepreneurs and people who want to grow on social media, we typically think of giving value as our tips, our advice, our expertise. But in short form videos, one of the best ways to capture people's attention and get them to watch and fall in love with you is for you to share yourself. Now, that's often very scary.
Yep.
Yes, we're always sharing ourselves. Like right now, you and I, Laura, we're sharing ourselves, but it feels easier because we're giving our expertise. So we're hiding behind a little mask of our leadership, our expertise.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you think of one of the best ways to have a video reach a lot of people is for you to share something that you were taught not to share. Really scary, right? But the minute you start doing it, it becomes like addicting.
Welcome to the Pintastic Podcast, a podcast about growing profitability the right way with sustainable systems so you can be found first without tantrums over tech and trading sleep for success. Prepare yourself for mind-blowing discussions and actionable tips focused on Pinterest strategies, funnel marketing, and everything in between with your host, Laura Reich. So let's make Pinterest profitable for you.
Hey, you guys. I am so excited for today's topic. We are going to be discussing all things short form video marketing. And who better than Nika to come on and talk about this? You guys have no idea how amazing this lady is. I feel so blessed and honored to have her here. Welcome.
Oh, it is my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And yes, I am short and I'm excited to talk about all things short.
Yay, me too. So we'll get right along. Awesome. So Nika is a short form video specialist, rock and roll singer, and cancer survivor. Nika also helps experts show up and shine as the unique, brilliant superstars they are so that they can go get recognition that they deserve. She does this through social media trainings, live stream consulting, and done-for-you marketing services. Her viral video intensive shows exactly how to create reels, YouTube shorts, and TikTok videos with ease. No more tech confusion, you guys, so that you can leverage this super, super important trend for your business right now. So without further ado, Nika, why don't you tell us, how did you get into this?
Wow. And I want to add Pinterest now because that is kind of the newest exciting platform that is really leveraging short form content. And I'm excited to be jumping into that because of you, Laura. So I appreciate that.
You.
I've been in marketing and social media for about a decade, a little more than a decade, and always loved video, but never really leveraged it in a big way until the beginning of 2020. And we all know what happened to the world in the beginning of 2020, right before the world kind of shut down and went crazy. I got a diagnosis of breast cancer. And so for pretty much all of 2020, I was going through treatments and trying to keep up some work and keep up my energy and get through as best as I could. I, like many of us who were forced to be home more, found an outlet in TikTok and scroll, right? So did you? I know a lot of people kind of got addicted.
Mine was a little different where I scrolled. I didn't do any type of video or anything, but yes, I am still to this day addicted to scrolling TikTok.
Yeah, it is. I didn't believe it. I thought when someone I knew who I really respected said, "Oh, TikTok is so addicting," I was like, really? You're an adult. This is like a kid's thing.
Yeah.
And I quickly realized she was correct. It is addicting. And the cool thing is, it is not, as many of us have had thought at the time, it's not just, and maybe because it changed, but it is not just kids and dancing and twerking, if that's even a thing that anyone knows about anymore, and lip syncing. All of that is fun. But TikTok has become a video platform for everybody, including adults and entrepreneurs. And it was so exciting to me watching and just having something to do to take my mind off what was going on in my life and in the world. But I realized that I could kind of document my journey with these short form videos, like 30 seconds. I could kind of talk about what I was going through in a funny way, because I wanted to look back. I knew that I wanted to look back when I was feeling better, my energy was back, even if I was still going through something. I knew that this was something, going through chemotherapy and surgeries and radiation, all of that was something I knew I would want to look back on, but in a positive way. So I started, it started with me counting down my chemo treatments. I would create little videos that I thought would be fun to watch, like, 12 left, 11 left, 10 left. That became an outlet for me. I looked forward every day to doing something to cheer myself up by documenting how I was feeling, making fun of myself, my hair falling out, the bright side of cancer, the funny side, because laughter is the best medicine. And I started by doing it for myself because I needed something to do. And one day, one of my videos went viral. And what I realized is that people were getting inspired and it was helping them. Not people just going through cancer, but the world was going through something tough. And people had personal issues and personal challenges and obstacles. And they were telling me that watching me find the funny was helping them find the funny, or inspiring them, or giving them ideas. That's what turned into my obsession with video.
That is so amazing. And I remember watching some of those videos and thinking, holy heck, she is adorable, because there was no way that I could do that. But I remember thinking, like, I just in awe of like how fun and cute and inspiring it was in some type of situation that somebody could have taken more negative, right? And just flipping it and making it a positive, and starting out doing it for yourself. Like, that's just awesome.
Yeah, I think part of that is that for me, it was just, I'm just going to do this and have fun. And that's one of the elements of creating content that is compelling to other people. People can tell that you're enjoying doing it.
100%, for sure. Okay, so let's back up a second and let's actually dive in for those who maybe they're newer in business, or maybe they have a blog and they're really rocking it on Pinterest, but they're not quite sure what this is. What is short form video? What does that even mean to us?
So, I'm so glad you asked, because it used to mean something different. I remember reading about short form video on Twitter, and that, I believe, was 2 minutes and 20 seconds, meant short form content. What we are saying now, and the reason we're saying this is because this is right now what I'm seeing as the most effective way to get in front of people who don't already know you. Because the platforms are showing our short form videos to people who are not already following us. When you post on Facebook, Facebook might show it to your followers or your connections, same on all the other platforms. But when you do a short form video, the platform says, let me see what strangers might appreciate this. And that's how you reach new people and go viral. So what a short form video is, it's a vertical video. So we think of YouTube videos, those are horizontal. No, short form video is vertical. The proportions of your phone, it's what we're used to looking at when we look at our phone, vertical, and under 60 seconds. Now, a lot of the platforms are allowing longer than 60 seconds, but short form video and the ones that go the most viral up till now have been under 60 seconds. In fact, under 30 seconds is even more effective.
Okay, so you kind of touched on this, like the difference between long form and short form. I mean, short form we're seeing is shorter, so under that 60 seconds. Can you talk about, are there other specific differences? I mean, between like if we were to do a longer video for long form content, is there a way to create that into a short form type piece? Or do you have suggestions that really kind of define the difference between a longer video and a short form video now that they're somewhat opening it up? Like I know TikTok has like 3 or 5 minutes or something. I think we're almost all the way up to 10 for some accounts on
Yes.
that. But can you speak to like a clear line in the sand difference between you doing like a long form video and a short form video?
Yeah. So the long form video and long form content that we're used to can really be could be up to hours. How can you take, so if you and I are gonna talk now and share great information for 30 minutes, that is long form content. And there are many ways, many techniques to turn this into many short form videos. But what makes it different, like if you post something on YouTube, and it is right now we are horizontal, if that's what you're watching, although I believe we'll be repurposing this, so you may be watching this as a short form video, who knows. But it's horizontal, so that right away is not considered a short form video. Even if we just talk for under 60 seconds, that is still not what's considered short form content. It has to be
Ooh,
vertical.
yeah.
So you could crop this and have it be vertical. And I know people who do that. Some of my clients even take some of their long form content and chop it up and crop it and make a bunch of short form content. Or there are also people who will at the end say, you know what, let's wrap up and give a 30-second wrap up summary of everything we just said. And you crop that and turn that into a short form video. When you think of short form content, it typically is the viral culture. So it's short. It's the type of video that you sit back and you go like this and you watch on your phone like this. Typically, you are watching this short form content on your phone, not on your computer. There are some of the platforms that allow some of us to be able to see short form content on your computer, but it is made for your phone. So even YouTube, which a lot of us watch on our computers, the shorts are on your phone. There's a shorts shelf that they're showing you, they want you to see these shorts. And it's the kind of thing that you get addicted to. So if it's something like this, where you're sharing great value, you have to do it in a way, and you want to do it in a way that's the kind of thing that if someone was sitting back on their couch, they would get entertained or inspired or motivated or touched, some emotion that makes them want to stop their scroll and watch for a few seconds.
For sure, which is so awesome. So, I mean, let's talk about that though, right? Because there have been Facebook Lives, a clear strategy for people on social media. YouTube Live, there's a clear strategy that people teach on those. So, in terms of doing short form video, for those who don't like dancing on the screen or lip syncing or singing or whatever it is, maybe we're just not goofy, but we have tons of great value to share. What is a tip for someone that is either just getting started or feels maybe a little stuck in terms of creating that content?
So good. One tip is to remember that short form videos, for the most part, is for people, like we're saying, they want to be, it's kind of part of our escape. We sit and we scroll because we want to escape life for a few moments or many hours. So what is it that you can share that will capture people's attention and stop their scroll? Now, when we think about giving value, especially as entrepreneurs and people who want to grow on social media, we typically think of giving value as our tips, our advice, our expertise. But in short form videos, one of the best ways to capture people's attention and get them to watch and fall in love with you is for you to share yourself. Now, that's often very scary. we're always sharing ourselves. Like right now, you and I, Laura, we're sharing ourselves, but it feels easier because we're giving our expertise. So we're hiding behind a little mask of our leadership, our expertise.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you think of one of the best ways to have a video reach a lot of people is for you to share something that you were taught not to share. Really scary, right? But the minute
Yeah.
you start doing it, it becomes like addicting, like we're saying.
Yeah.
It actually is addicting. It doesn't mean you never share your expertise, but when you start sharing some things that you really thought you're supposed to hide, those things were supposed to be better than in order to be a leader, an expert. In these short form videos, those are keeping us not approachable. When we make mistakes, when we laugh at ourselves, when we make fun of ourselves, when we share something we were ashamed of, or we thought people were telling us we're not good enough, and now we're going to share it, the connections are unbelievable. And then you start really getting comfortable when you share your value, your real self is coming through. When you try to be a leader that you think you're supposed to be,
Yeah,
we don't really connect. You're still a leader when you are the real you.
for sure.
So share your mistakes, talk about things that you're embarrassed about, bring out the things you thought you're supposed to hide. Like, let me clean up this mess before I go live, or create a video, or maybe turn on the video on my mess and
Yeah,
even
for
highlight
sure.
it.
And be a little bit more vulnerable is what I'm hearing too. So, okay, here's a fun, quick story to tell you my vulnerability. When I started video content, not even short form content, this was years ago. I have since done it more and gotten more confident in what I'm going to be doing and things like that. But I used to make fun of myself because that's how I would get through it. And so I put on a Mardi Gras mask, and I kid you not, I will link to a picture for you so that you can see. It was always brand colors, but it was a Mardi Gras mask. And I called myself the masked marketer because it was something I could make fun of. And it gave me that sense of confidence where I didn't have to worry about what they thought of or what I looked like. It was just fun. And so taking that story from years ago and hearing you say that now, it's still relevant. It's still like that authentic you, that authentic self. And to be able to put that in short video along with everything else that you have in marketing, I think it's like this fast track to be able to get on the same level as the people that you're trying to reach.
Yeah. And it's because, so it sounds like you were having fun. You felt more confident, and you weren't, even though you were hiding, it was almost like making fun of the hiding.
Yes.
So
yeah.
That's really fun. And you're saying it's accelerating. When social media came out, we would write posts and it was new. So people would like read them and feel connected to us, until pictures were then allowed on social media. And people were like, oh, now it accelerated the connection because now I could see something, not just read it. Then video became a part, and that was even better. Not only a picture, like you can airbrush a picture on video, it's a little more difficult. Then live streaming came out. You can't even edit that. Like, it is what it is.
Yep.
And this is similar. Short form video is similar to live. Now you can edit and you can make it better,
for sure.
but it's done in a way that keeps people's attention, because our live streams are typically long, and our attention span, I was just reading this. People used to say we have the attention span of a goldfish. That was like an insult to say, or you have the attention span of a goldfish. Well, they've done studies now, and most humans have a shorter attention span than goldfish. So that's like a compliment to say to someone, you have such a long attention span. It's almost as good as a goldfish.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. Oh. So you have a split second to capture someone's attention. and being you and really totally being human and raw and real and showing us your flaws, which I don't consider flaws. I think we are like imperfectly perfect. Our
I
imperfections and our
agree.
flaws are perfect. So showing that is what captures people's attention.
Well, and that's, I think, the biggest part of what sets us apart from each other, right? Because I don't believe in competition either. I believe that literally there's enough air for everybody to breathe. There's only mentees, mentors, like you all collaborate in some way, because someone who comes to you, my dear, is not going to be the same type of personality that comes to me, even if we even did offer the same thing. Like,
Right.
there's just different backgrounds and experiences, and that's what people are drawn to. And so to be able to do it in a quick way to capture that short attention span, but then also show them that window into the real person behind the products, behind the services, behind those things, I think is what's helping that short form stay around longer in our marketing strategies, which I mean, also kind of leads me to think like, so how do you, I mean, what is a suggestion that you would have, and how do you do this for your content strategy? Because someone who's going from, dancing, or even when you're your awesome rocker self on stage with your band, like how do you turn around and put that into your agency's content strategy?
Yeah, you're asking how I put it out as someone who helps clients with their social
Yeah.
media. How would I make
Yeah, because
content?
there's not that direct connection. And
Yeah.
so someone else who's out there like, okay, well, I could talk about you. We see all these posts all the time, right? What can you talk about for 30 minutes without hesitation? Okay. That's awesome. But that's not short form content like we're talking about here. And that's not providing that open, clear window into our personality. So, how are we bridging that gap between our personality and what we're actually offering as a business
Yeah.
owner?
Okay, this is amazing and maybe will surprise you, but in the last few years with my accounts, my videos, I would say 95% of my videos have not been about my agency or what I share expertise wise. They have been all about my life, and I do it in my branded way, which pretty much is making fun of things I'm going through and finding, being positive and finding the bright side of things. That is not necessarily what everyone their brand is. You need to follow your branding and your spin, I call it, your messages, what you really believe in, that you want to come through in your videos. But what do you share expertise wise? For me, I share very little. And I have recently started a brand new account and platform to give tips on this. And of course, my course shares how to do it for other people.
Yeah,
But
for
how
sure.
I've built my business is through talking about what's going on in my life. Is that weird?
95%.
Yeah, even more, I would think. I mean, I do very little on my accounts that are the viral ones, which mean, and when I say viral, at this point, I've reached about 170 million views, and I got a few 100,000 subscribers and followers.
Amazing.
And not all of them are ideal clients. Many of them have followed just because they're watching my journey, and maybe they're inspired and they get good feelings. And many of them have even said in comments like, thank you, this inspires me. They are not ever going to buy anything from me. But I don't need 200,000 people to be buying from me. I just need a few. And not only are a few of them now like, well, you're interesting, how can I learn more? And then they do click my links. And once in a while, I will talk about what I do, but not give value in that way. It's done in a very different way. It really is all about you. It's different than anything we've ever learned as a marketer, where what's in it for them is what we always have to
Completely.
think. And although it is not about us when we're creating video, it kind of is, but it isn't. Like, we have to think when we're writing a promotional post, you must think, what is in it for the reader and the viewer? When we create short form video, first thing we think is what is in it for them is inspiration and entertainment. It's not that you have to give them value in the old way you thought of. So value used to mean like teaching them something so that they can use it. Now with short form video, value means any of the above: entertainment, inspiration, motivation, just an evocation of emotion, tips that they can use in their life. But not that used to be the only thing. Now it's just make people laugh, inspire them, entertain them. That's what's in it for them. And you don't have to, and people will want to work with you because they fall in love with you.
Right. And I love how you say that too, though. I don't need 200,000 people to purchase from me. I just need a few of them. Because here's the other thing. We don't know who's watching all the time. And we don't know who they're connected with and who their connections are connected with, right? And so it's kind of that ripple effect when you come in it with a different mindset than scarcity or selling. It's opening up so many other opportunities in ways we could never imagine. I mean, let's just give an example, right? Before I go into like the platforms and uses, can you give us an example of a story or a person or a connection that was made that otherwise might not have been from video content that you created, right? Like a power partner or something like that, where you were like, okay, so-and-so connected me with this person and it was amazing.
Yes. So here I am thinking of two things. One is, before I even used any of my video to even talk about what I did for a living, it was all in the first few months about me losing my hair and losing my breasts and losing my energy and making fun of myself. I got, first of all, a few people reached out just to want to promote me on their sites. And I was like, okay, but I'm talking about cancer. But from that, several people reached out and said, you're inspiring. And I know, I've heard of you. I know you're an entrepreneur. Can you share how you did this with my audience? That happened to lead to some wonderful long-term, since a few years ago, clients for me, because leaders began seeing me as a leader because I was growing online, simply by just sharing my story, not by promoting my business. But even more recently, yeah, I mean, and it really was, I was thinking, how is this going to lead to business? But I think one of the biggest reasons was I was not, my objective was not to sell. And that's what I teach people now is, yes, of course, bottom line, your objective is to make more money if you're in business. And so what the mindset needs to be, you don't sell on your videos, but you can use your videos to grow your business if you use the videos as the top of your funnel, as the awareness. Then you have to do a little bit of work. And if you don't want to do work, then you shouldn't be in business. So we do want to do the work.
Of course.
Unfortunately, we think maybe if we create some great videos, that'll lead to people reaching out and saying, here's my credit card. It doesn't work that way, but you get them aware of you. Then if you follow up on people who have liked your video, who have followed you, who have commented on your videos, and you start a relationship, those people have become giant clients and income for me. They started out by just clicking like and saying, oh, this was fun on a video, but I followed up. And recently I posted something just sharing about how a client was scared about something they were posting. And I talked about them sharing their fear of sharing something that wasn't a leadership. It was like, I was showing about making mistakes. Should I take it down? And I told them not to take it down. So I shared that story about how they grew because they finally decided to leave something up. So someone else said, reached out and became a client because they saw me talking about how I was helping someone else. So that's another thing, rather than talking about what you sell, talk about how other people are getting results.
That's so amazing. And I think you hit it perfectly when you're saying it's a mindset thing, right? It's not going into it as this is the end all be all marketing piece that you're missing, right? Because people ask me that about Pinterest all the time. Like, is Pinterest this surviving grace that's going to take my business from zero to hero, and all of a sudden I'm just going to make it in the world? And it's like, no, there's not one single thing out there that's going to do that for you. It's a compilation of the work that you're doing. So if you're doing this short form video, it's the follow-up after, it's the preparing beforehand, it's the fun, it's the emotion. Like, there's a number of different things that I'm hearing you're saying need to go into it to be able to make it part of your strategy, not the end all be all strategy.
Yeah, I think it's said so well. It's kind of like, well, I need a telephone. Maybe we don't need them anymore. We used to need a telephone when we had a business and an office. So you get a telephone, and why is that not getting me all the clients? Well, that's a tool, because if you didn't have the telephone, no one could contact you, but you need to go out and get people to contact you. So short form video and Pinterest are tools, but not the end all be all. You start with posting, then you follow up, then you encourage engagement, then you follow up again. Like, you have all the steps. It starts with having a presence and creating good content and posting it on Pinterest and in short form videos. And I'm so excited about short form videos on Pinterest, which we all need to get involved in because it's newer. And when it's new and you get involved early, you get the best results. But that's a side note. But
we'll come to that.
Excellent.
So before we jump into short form video distribution and the platforms and that kind of stuff, what are 3 quick tips to let's do one tip to help somebody who's maybe getting started, a tip for somebody who wants to maybe shift their mindset, and I'll help you remember these, and then a tip for someone who is already established in video, but maybe they're not seeing the results that they're looking for. So how about we start out with like somebody completely brand new to video that wants to get into this? What is something you would tell them to do?
I would suggest starting with one platform. Choose one, like TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram as a place to record your content. I started on TikTok, so that is the place where I always go back to because it feels the most user-friendly. Even if I didn't want to start and grow an account on TikTok, I find the TikTok editor and recorder the easiest for me to create videos because they allow you to push record, stop, move to another location, push record, stop. You can make a quick, like 3-part video under 15 seconds really quickly. So choose one. I hear from people who started on Instagram with the Instagram Reels editor, and they prefer that. So I'm not going to say you should use TikTok, but you'll choose which one is most user-friendly to you. And I would say TikTok or Instagram. YouTube Shorts is not up to date on a great recorder for right now. It'll get better.
For sure.
So, and then just pick one, record something, and just know that you can record it in segments. And that's even better than just sitting and doing a talking head video. They can work too, but because it needs to be active and have movement, think about that. Record quick snippets rather than sitting for 30 seconds and talking, and just practice and keep them in your drafts until you're happy.
Okay, so before we go on to the mindset tip, if someone records a video and they are quote unquote not happy, what do you suggest they do? Because I have heard post it anyway, because again, that's showing vulnerability. But have you heard different, or do you have any suggestions for that?
I have heard that you should do that, and yet all of us are afraid to do that. And I suggest that you do it anyway. However, if you've never posted before and you just want to get used to getting used to recording, practice a few and throw them in the garbage if you want. But to the point of posting them anyway, the one phrase that I always come back to is, if you feel not ready because of whatever reason, I need to be more this, I need to learn more this. When it comes to video, the only way to be more ready is to do it not ready. Like you can't learn more and then be more ready. You have to actually have the experience and feel uncomfortable and feel nervous. And if you remember that everyone, including people who are doing it all the time, still feel nervous, it's not like that is going to go away completely. You just will get a little more used to it and do it. When you do it not ready, you'll feel a little more ready. So it's like, well, when it's like, I'll launch it when I'm ready. You're never going to launch it then because you can't be ready until you launch.
Yeah, exactly. Which is such a good point, right? Like I was just talking about how I was coming on this video and I was going to record this podcast and I was going to do all the things with you here. And what did I tell you? I said, thank you for the grace because I have butterflies. I've been doing video for years, you guys. I've been recording my voice for years and I still get butterflies. So I like, in my term and my uniqueness, I say do it scared. If people want to see my dirty laundry on the couch or my mom bun with my baby because she's always on my hip and next to me, then that's who I am. And that's how I run my agency, but that is just me. So I do like your ideas in terms of, testing and maybe saving it as a draft or deleting it if you just don't like it so you can do it again.
And to that point, I would say don't do that for weeks and weeks. Do that in one sitting. The next time you better post it. Like I'm saying, do some practicing to learn it.
Or Nika's going to come get you. Baby. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the second tip for mindset. So say you've gone through, you've done a couple of drafts, and now you've posted your first video. You want to come back in because you didn't feel like your mindset was right there. Or maybe you've done 10 TikToks and 10 reels, but again, you're still feeling like maybe you're doing it out of a place of, I need to be here, or this is only for sales, or whatever your mindset is around that because of an experience you've had. How do we work on shifting our mindset to be able to help open the floodgates, basically, to be able to be more comfortable with this?
One thing that I heard recently that I find very brilliant, and if this works for you, decide that you'll do this. Do it as a joke. That phrase was really compelling to me because I thought when we start getting into like, but it has to be perfect, but I have to make sales, but I'm supposed to do this and I'm a leader and I'm supposed to look a certain way. If you think to yourself, I'm going to just do this as a joke, like just to see what happens. I'm going to play with this. When you start feeling, and maybe joke might not be the word for you. Maybe I'm doing it just for myself for now. For me, it was, I'm doing it as my creative outlet. I need something to look forward to give myself some creativity. A few days a week, I'm going to come up with a fun video to make. And it's not for anything else. When you do that, number one, you shift your energy and your mindset. And if you are going public with it, people will see that. And they are much more attracted to the mindset of this is fun. You can look back on your videos, and one of the elements of going viral with video, and that I've created the viral video formula after, getting obsessed and studying, and I keep studying videos, what makes them go viral. One thing that helps you is to look back at what you've done and see what is working and do more of that. So you should in the beginning post a lot of stuff, and some of it is going to be crap and not get results. It has to be. And there's no reason to feel bad about it because it has to be. Not everything you do can go viral and reach people. Yeah. Certain things will touch people, certain things won't. And then the more you do that, the more you can look and say, oh, people like this. I'm going to do more of that. So do it for fun and then look back and see what's working.
So amazing, which we have a session coming up soon too, where we're going to talk about data-driven decisions. So I'm so excited about that too, because that plays right into what you're saying about not just Google Analytics, but TikTok analytics, Facebook analytics, Pinterest
Mhm.
analytics. I mean, all this data in front of you, and how to be able to make that type of informed decision to continue on once you have that shift. So let's talk about then leading right into it, right? If you've been doing a ton of video, right? How do you improve upon that? If you feel like you have gotten thousands and thousands of videos out there, but right now you're kind of like, okay, I've been having a blast with it. I've been doing it for myself. I've been doing it as just storytelling to have a window into who I am. How do I now improve upon that to bring it full force into my content strategy?
Yes. Great. So two things. One is that one of the biggest challenges or mistakes really that I see people making is, like we were saying, I put out videos and people are seeing them and I'm not getting sales. Well, the videos don't get you direct sales. The videos can be the vehicle that drives awareness to people who would likely be interested in your sales, but they don't know that you have anything to sell because you've been putting out just videos about yourself. But they now like you and they like your style, they trust you. So your job is to follow up. And there are ways to follow up, and certainly lots of people out there have techniques. I have my technique that I work on with my students for following up with people who have liked your videos, who have commented on your videos. You use the videos also as a piece, a slice of your marketing pie, so that it's part of other things that you do and your messages are consistent in all of your content, even if it's just talking about you and your life. That message is getting out there on other, and so there are ways, there are many people you can be following up with, and there are ways to follow up with them, but you have
Amazing.
to decide that follow up is it's a non-negotiable. This is part of your marketing plan. So if you want to use video, especially short form video right now, to increase sales as a marketing tool, one of the steps is follow up. So you're creating content and you're posting and you're following up. Without that, of course, you're not getting sales. So you can't complain about not getting sales, that it's not working, because you didn't do the work.
Right? Preach it, girl. Preach
That's
it.
the main thing. And then I also want to say that even though you're talking about yourself and your life, you want to be living by example. So, I
Ooh.
will, a part of what I do is I do look on the bright side of everything. So I'll talk about looking on the bright side, but I'll talk about my clients and how I help them look on the bright side. So it's kind of seeding the fact that, oh, you have clients. Oh, you help people. That's the last client that came in 2 days ago was like, just saw something quite casually mentioned a client. Oh, you do that for other people? Can you do that for me? So
Ooh,
casually mentioning without
yeah.
selling, but then
Yeah.
you follow up. So I got a few people like, oh, do you do that? Yes. And then oh, you didn't write back. Let me follow up and see if you're interested in it. You need to follow up.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is so amazing. I had someone who was talking to me about follow up a while back, and she was like, I didn't know that if they didn't respond to me from, them clicking through my link on Pinterest or wherever they were following up, that I should have gone back in
Mm,
X amount of days later. And I said, it's not too late. Go do it
yeah.
again. And she
Mhm.
ended up getting that client back. And it had been some 45 plus days since they had a
Yeah.
conversation. So follow up doesn't just mean, in 2 hours. I mean, people
Absolutely.
are, like we talk about in terms of short term attention span.
Mm,
It's the same thing. People are busy. I have
yeah.
3 kids. I mean, I, I am busy. I don't always not answer because I don't want to, or because I don't
Right.
need your help or whatever. It's just, we're pulled in so many different directions in this world. And so that's a lesson
Absolutely.
to learn. Don't just post your videos and pray that someone's going to come to you and say, here's my money, I'm hiring you right now. Like, you need to do some extra work on the back end of that.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to bring that around to my favorite piece. So we've talked about how to get started with video. We've talked about how to practice our mindset with it and how to be able to follow up and lead them to the sale without being a salesy weirdo person. when we create this content, we are not just putting it on one platform. You should be repurposing it. If you are putting it on one platform, please reach out to either one of us, because we have resources we can give you so that you can work smarter in terms of the content you're already creating. One of my favorite platforms that I'd love to hear from you on, my dear, is taking that short form content and posting it to Pinterest.
Mhm.
And I teach why this is a great visibility strategy. And I'd love to hear how it's actually working for you since you've been implementing that strategy, so that other people can understand that full spectrum of following up and repurposing that hard work that they're actually doing.
Yeah. So let's start with the fact that I'm brand new to posting now on Pinterest, and will become an expert because of you, hopefully in a few weeks.
Thank you.
And honestly, the truth is, because it is newer on Pinterest, I want to be diving in even deeper. So I don't have all of the amazing results this minute to tell you, because we're just getting started. But I will tell you from past experience, knowing that when Instagram Reels came out, which was, I think, late 2020 or early 2021, it was brand new. And I thought, well, why don't I take my short form videos and put them there? I've already created them. And because it was new, they went crazy. I mean, reached millions of people. It's harder to do that. You still can do it, but it's harder because it's now very busy. Then
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts came out, and that's where I've reached over 165 million people, I think, on YouTube Shorts so far, because I started right away, because it was new. And
Yep.
now they're reaching people, but not as quickly. Pinterest is where everyone needs to be right now,
I
because
love
it's
it.
newer.
Yeah.
And because when it's new, the platform prioritizes it, which means they
Yes.
show your content to more people. They want it to work. So
Yep.
they're like, please do what we've just launched. We're going to share your stuff because we want Pinterest short videos, pins to work. So
Exactly.
if you give it to us, we're going to make it work for you. So jump in right now, and I'll come back in a few weeks and give you a giant testimonial.
Yeah,
with
let's do it. And we'll post the results below too, so that you guys can go and look at that too, because I think the cool part about this is when we talk about repurposing, and what I've teach in my repurposing course too for short form video specifically to Pinterest, is that there's multiple ways to take that one video, and you can lead to email capture forms, website content, long form video. I mean, it's top of funnel visibility. And so you've already done the work in that short form video. You've done what Nika said, right? You recorded your videos, you changed your mindset, you're having fun with it. Why not get more visibility? Like, why are we leaving the fact that we could bring in tons of more people to that short form video content to be addicted with what we have, our personalities, come collaborate with us, have fun with us, laugh at us, whatever it is. It's super powerful. And I get goosebumps when people talk about even starting with it, Nika, because you're already doing it. You are amazing at TikToks and Reels and that short form video content. That is just a part of your lifestyle now, in terms of your lifestyle and your business content, right? And so now to show you that there's a whole new opportunity for all of that content you've already been creating, to put it back out there and reuse it and get more visibility on a whole new arena.
I have chills.
It's like a gold mine. I know. I love it. I love it. And so I can't wait to hear how that's working for you. Outside of Pinterest, I'm biased, right? So I love Pinterest. Our listeners are Pinterest users as well, or aspiring Pinterest users. What are some other quick platforms that you could say, if we start with TikTok, because that's where you started, let's just say suggestion, go do a TikTok video, you do one. What are the other platforms that you suggest besides Pinterest that they repurpose these to?
Instagram Reels. So not just on Instagram, but to actually use the Reels, which you would upload it separately than a regular post. So you put it on Instagram Reels and then tell it that it can also post on Facebook, because Instagram also connects with Facebook. And you can now post them directly onto Facebook on your profile and on your business pages. And Facebook it's newer on Facebook too. So if you scroll on Facebook, especially on your phone, you get to this place where all of a sudden all these videos those are Facebook Reels. And Facebook is like, watch the Reels. They're even paying creators to create Reels and to post Reels. So Facebook wants Reels to work. So I would say Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube. If you want to grow a platform on YouTube, YouTube Shorts is also new. So they're still prioritizing them. They're coming on other platforms, but right now those are the major ones. So TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Reels, and YouTube Shorts. And of course, like you said, besides Pinterest.
Besides Pinterest, yes, of course, because that should be done first. Again, I'm biased, but we'll get everybody there. I'm preaching from the choir, right? Awesome. So if someone here is listening and they're like, okay, these are amazing tips. I'm going to go try to record my first video, or I'm going to try to change how I'm doing video. What is one resource that you have that you would recommend to them?
That I have, certainly the Viral Video Intensive is going to teach you everything. Not only teach you, it's a 6-module course. So it goes through the viral video formula, your ideas and topics. It gives you templates and scripts to make videos if you don't even know what to say on them, how to have more confidence and charisma on camera, and the analytics to look at to make, like you said, data-driven decisions. And then the best part, how to monetize, how to turn viewers into paying clients. So that's the course, but it also includes 8 weeks of open Q&A with me, which everyone has told me is really their favorite part, even if they don't watch the recordings, which they do. But the just showing up and saying, I have this question and I don't want to get stuck, and what should I do? Or let's brainstorm on something. So it's so how to go viral with video. And then it turns into discussions on really just how to build your business using short form content as one of the vehicles.
That's so awesome. We will definitely put the link to that below here as well. I'd also, for a wrap up, I love to ask people, what is your prediction for short form video content in the next, say, year? What do you think we should be paying attention to right now? What should we start focusing on that you feel like is really going to take off? Or maybe it's in the opposite. What is something that you think is going to drop off that we shouldn't pay as much attention to?
Great questions. I do see that the platforms that have been going crazy and allowing people to go crazy viral are getting extremely busy, as always. So new adopters come in, get crazy results. Lots of people come in, they start getting results, and then it gets so crowded that it starts becoming less effective. So I see this next year as being the time to get involved because it is so effective. Short form videos are so effective in getting us attention. So you do want to jump in now. So that would be my suggestion. And look at the newer platforms that are adopting it, like Pinterest. Pinterest wants a piece of it. And so they're prioritizing it. They will help you go viral if you get involved early enough. A lot of the platforms are now combining short form content with longer form content. And to me, that's going to be, I don't know exactly what's going to happen because it's a little new. And I don't even have, I see even this week, YouTube said they're going to allow you to take pieces of long form content and combine it. And so it's going to be really fun. So I would say look out for how to combine that to really build your presence in a big way.
So amazing. All right. Well, you guys heard it here first. So when these predictions take off, go back, to the wise Nika and ask for her help. Remind us, my dear, where can people find your business online, and where can they find you on social media?
I'm on social media. Most of my accounts are Nika Stewart Shine, the word shine after Nika
Love
Stewart
it.
on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. So look for me, Nika Stewart Shine. And my website is shine-365.com.
Love it so much. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your brilliant wisdom in terms of short form video content and really how we can implement that as a lifestyle strategy for our content to be able to continually build upon as well. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for listening to the Pintastic Podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and review on wherever you listen to your podcasts. We really appreciate